Neptune is the 8th planet of our solar system. It is the 4th largest planet by diameter, the 3rd most massive, and the densest gas giant. It is 17 times the mass of Earth. Hey, and welcome to Making Planets. I know, I thought I was done with this playlist, but then I got a copyright notice because I used the X-Men cartoon theme for Neptune. So I was looking at re-editing the original, but it's a bit uninspiring. For the uninitiated, in Making Planets, I set out to use different techniques in After Effects to recreate each planet in the solar system. For the original Neptune video, I used C4D light with a circular visible light with noise. Neptune's discovery in 1846 by Johann Galle was predicted using the mathematics of Urbain Le Verrier, and French textbooks hurriedly renamed Uranus after its discoverer Herschel to back up the claim by their astronomer. Everyone else was very much nope. Neptune is in the science news at the minute as it's going through some huge temperature changes, and even its great dark spot, a storm the size of Earth, has been behaving weirdly. And welcome back, chapter skippers. Let's get started. Here I am in AE, and I'm going to first quickly show how to use stock footage of smoke combined with Video Copilot's free Orb plugin to create a gas giant with a bit of depth. Once you've installed Orb, you need some smoke footage. I could use Turbulent or Fractal Noise, but real stock footage just ends up looking better. This video comes from Production Crate. I have a free account there that entitles me to 5 downloads per day, and they've got a whole load of VFX type stuff. The majority is behind a paywall, but there's some useful free stuff too. First, I'm going to be organised and go to Layer, New, Null Object. Make it 3D and hit Enter to rename it to Planet Null. Hit P to expose the position keyframes. Now drop in our stock smoke footage and make it 3D. Set its parent to be our null layer. Then expand the layer's properties and uncheck Accept Lights. Now go to Effect, Color Correction, Tritone, and set the midtones to a Neptune-y blue. And then go back to Effect, Color Correction, and choose Levels. And drag the white down so we deepen the texture. And now go to Layer, New, Solid. Make it comp sized and click OK. And then go to Effect, Video Copilot, Orb. Double click on Orb's position, and in the timeline use the pick whip to link to Planet Null's position. So we can use the null layer to control Orb. Expand Material, and drop the specular to 0. Then in Maps, select our stock footage for Diffuse and choose Effects and Masks. So we've got our smoke texture wrapped around the sphere. But now, set the Orb Layer's Transfer Mode to Multiply. And set the stock footage's track matte to Alpha Matte. And then turn the Orb layer back on. To see everything more clearly, go to Layer, New, Light. Make it a parallel light and click OK. In the light's transform properties, pick whip the point of interest to the planet Null's position, and drag the light off to the side to act as our sun. Create a camera, which is Layer, New, Camera. Then select the smoke video and go to Layer, Transform, Auto Orient, and set it to Orient towards Camera. So what we end up with is a sense of depth of clouds, with Orb providing the shading. And if we duplicate our Orb layer, set the diffuse map back to none, in Material set diffuse to 0 as well, then set the illumination color to a Neptune blue, and the illumination amount to 0.8. Then in Illumination Options, set the Fresnel to 1, the Fresnel bias to 1.7, the shadow light to 1, the contrast to 1.4, and the expansion to 0.1. We get a third atmosphere layer. Just before I jump into the second method I'm sharing, now is a great time for you to hit the like button if possible. hey, someone's got to get my engagement ranking up, and it's not going to be me. I think the second method is possibly less realistic, but somehow cooler in the final result. Create a new comp. Make this one 2000 by 1000 pixels, and then create a new comp size solid. Make it a nice light grey, you know, dark white. And then go to Effect, Noise and Grain, Fractal Noise. Normally I'd use Turbulent Noise, but there's a subtle smoothness with Turbulent Noise that I didn't want here. I tried this with stock footage and it didn't really yield the results I wanted, so we're sticking with the tried and true. Drop the brightness to -10. Expand Transform and uncheck Uniform Scaling. Scale the height down to 33%. Holding the Alt key, click on the Offset stopwatch, and in the Expressions area type square brackets time times 30, comma 0, close square brackets. So the noise will now move across the screen automatically. Then hold Alt again and click on the Evolution stopwatch and type time times 100, so we get some changing clouds. And set the effects blending mode to Overlay. Now go to Effect, Color Correction, Tritone, and set the midtones to that Neptune-y blue again. Now create a new comp, and you know the drill. Make a new null object, name it Planet Null, and then add a new solid and add the orb effect to it and link orb's position to the planet null's position. And then add in our texture pre-comp. And then go to Effect, Channel, Extract. And drag the black point up to about 120, and then up the black softness to about 1/3 of that. On the orb layer, rename this to Inner Clouds. In Material, drop the Specular to 0, and then in Maps, set the Diffuse to our texture pre-comp. Now go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, CC Radial Blur. CC Radial Blur has a setting to allow for negative blurring, so we can draw the effect in. When used the way I'm going to use it, it creates a sense of depth. But this is on a 3D orb, so we need to link the 2D effect to the 3D null. And to do that, we need to use one of my older tutorials. Hold Alt and click on Radial Blur's center stopwatch, and then use the pick whip to link to Planet Null. You see, having a null layer for everything becomes super useful. At the end of the expression, type dot, toComp with a capital C, brackets, square brackets, 0, 0, 0, close squares, close brackets. And to see the expression in action, set the type to straight zoom and the amount to -40. But we want to fill in the blurry edges. So go to Effect, Channel, Shift Channels, and set Alpha to be full on. Now duplicate the inner orb layer, either by holding Ctrl and tapping D, or by going to Edit, Duplicate, and rename this to Outer Clouds. Delete this layer's CC Radial Blur and Shift Channels. Then in Orbs Maps, set the Diffuse map to use Effects and Masks. So now we have a transparent surface of clouds with a faux depth underneath. And you also get a totally different look if you alter the rotation Y of one of the orbs, so that the surface clouds aren't the ones with depth. But there you go, two completely different gas giant looks, and if you like the idea of creating all the planets in the solar system, check out this playlist, where I do just that.